about the English, if you're going to collect English, I don't collect English manga. Two things to be aware of. Number one, nowadays I've noticed not all manga are from Japan. There are American comic book artists that are making comics that are not exactly the same. I mean, they're trying to be. Sometimes they're not even trying to be the same as manga. Like, if you like the way manga is written, not just because it's Japanese or something, if you like the way it's written, the style and the tempo and all that, there are American comic artists that are trying to mimic that, or they'll just slap on the label, oh, it's a manga, I just made a manga. Well, yeah, they made a manga in the sense that manga, the word in Japanese, means comics, but what they're trying to do is tap into the rising fan base for Japanese comics. So they're kind of, it's a little bit like false advertising, I think. So beware of that. If it matters to you, it might not matter to you at all. I decided to go and hunt down some English manga and see what the pricing's like. As I said in the other video, English translations of manga are usually double or more the price of the original Japanese. This is because they have to pay for the translator. They have to pay for sometimes they have to move frames around or switch them or whatever. Of course, they have to pay the person to type in all the little bubbles now in English and stuff. And usually they print it larger scale, like, for the most part, they're smaller than American comic books, American graphic novels. So they're paying for more paper. So you're paying for translation, paper, typist, whatever else, marketing. They have to pay for their marketing. It was marketed in Japan, now they have to market it here, stuff like that. So that's why they're more expensive. I did go to Barnes & Noble, and I was looking around the bargain table, and I found an English graphic novel, which I did purchase, and I'll show that to you in a second. This one that I got is really nice quality. It's this, Kyuko-chan. I don't know anything about the series. All I know is on the back it says from the creator of FLCL, and neither of these series have I ever seen before. So that's all. And this is actually a book sleeve, like a box, almost like DVDs would come in. And then even the cover, it's nice matte finish, really nice binding. It's actually got this little piece of fabric in there. I don't know what that's called. But that's a really nice binding. The paper in here is a little higher quality than the other manga that I was seeing, the other English comics there. And it even has this little ribbon bookmark. So this is really nice. It's originally $15. I got it for $4. $4. I don't know why that is. There was only one of them there. The box has kind of a little rip right here, and so I don't know why exactly it was reduced so much from $15 to $4, but now it's mine. I read it. It was a little weird. I don't know if I'll pursue it in the Japanese. I like the artwork style here. It was cute. If you ever see a manga in English that's selling for $50, just turn around and walk away. Put this in perspective, actually. I got the entire first series of the Japanese film comics for Sailor Moon for about the same price. So, would you rather have the whole set of film comics first season, which is like 10 books, or just one English translation book that you could just look up the text online? Just go on eBay, ask around. I mean, it's not a big deal. Just, bargain hunt a little bit. Someone asks, how much do manga cost in Japan? And they generally, for the most part, they range between 300 and 500 yen. And that would be more or less really close to $3 to $5. Not exactly, and also the exchange rate changes, but more or less just a good ballpark rule of thumb is 100 yen. Think of it as $1. Actually, I think it's like 120 yen or something like that to the dollar, but it's about $3 to $5, depending. Some are more, obviously, and then if you do go to a used bookstore in Japan, they almost always have a very large selection that are 100 yen or $1. And actually, since the yen is less than 120 yen to the dollar or something like that, it's actually cheaper than $1 if you live in Japan. But also, the used bookstores around near me they're still just $1. And they're not bad. A little bit of foxing. Foxing is when the pages get yellowy, not detrimental to the integrity of the book, but it looks yucky. It's usually caused by moisture in the air. Someone said they have collected all 4 volumes of Azumanga Daioh, and then they saw the omnibus, which has all 4 volumes compiled into one big book. The 4 separate volumes are going to be worth more because they were printed first. We already discussed that. Also, I told her the omnibus is probably, since it's a wide spine on there, I'm worried about its integrity, especially if you're going to be reading it a lot. I personally would just hold on to my 4 and just enjoy them. Don't worry about the omnibus. I mean, unless there's something I don't know about the omnibus. I've seen it. I didn't pick it up and look at it. I saw the English one. I only have the first Azumanga in Japanese, and didn't really care. It's funny, I just didn't care. Anyway, I told her, in my opinion, I would just stick with the 4. Why spend the extra money on that thing when you already have them? They're worth more, and you can read them, and whatever. Just keep the 4, it's fine. It's up to you, though. Just my opinion. Someone asked about the Battle Royale manga. Battle Royale is a movie from Japan. It was a book first, a novel, like a textual, not manga, just a textual novel book. And then it was a movie, and then there was a sequel, and then there's a manga. 2 manga series, I think. Which should I buy, the single editions of Battle Royale or the Ultimate editions? In this case, okay, this is what Manga Guide number 3 will be about special editions. So we're going to cover this a lot more, so don't worry about it. I'm just going to give a really quick answer right now, but we're going to cover it in detail later. I think I would just research this more. I think I would start off by buying number 1 of the regular Battle Royale and number 1 of the Ultimate Edition. Look at them both, compare them both, and then make your decision. Because sometimes they change things. In the Ultimate Edition, it's not the old manga plus, special edition stuff, limited printing stuff. Sometimes they change stuff. Sometimes it's more valuable to have the original incarnation of an piece of artwork, a manga piece of artwork. Sometimes more valuable to own the original incarnation of that. So I suggest to you, buy number 1 of both, compare them, and then decide which route you're going to go. I collect manga that I like to read, but I also collect manga that maybe I don't really care about, but it's a very popular series. The more popular a series is now, the more value it'll have later on. Like, if you just start collecting some obscure manga that no one knows about, you're going to have a hard time finding people who care about it in a couple decades or so. I don't know if I'll ever sell my manga collection. Right now, my mindset is I want to keep them all. But who knows what's going to happen in a few decades. Maybe they'll be worth so much that it'll be worth it just to sell them. Actually, my favorite singer, I bought 2 copies of her debut single, the limited first pressed edition. And I bought 2, and I left 1 wrapped up, so that perhaps I can make some big bucks later. So I bought 2 of them, 1 for me, and 1 to sell later.